guys.
So Lister has found the crew profiles.
You shouldn't be reading those. They're for the captain's eyes only.
Oh, like you've never looked at them before.
Constantly fails the exam. I'd hardly call 11 times constantly.
David Lister, although clearly quite bright, is lazy, unreliable, rude and disorganised. You thought I was quite bright?
Either way, he ends up reading his.
Arnold, however, has not succeeded to the same blah 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 blah.
And of course, there's nothing good in there.
While he continues to blame everyone for his own failings. And even if I do, I got that off my mum. She's a huge blamer.
Later, Kryten discovers that the scanners have picked up something.
It appears that some kind of anomaly has penetrated our universe.
I hate people who use the word anomaly. It's just a fancy smancy word for weird.
Whatever it is, sir, it's heading our way.
And they're on a collision course with it and no time to move out of the way.
Unless the chick with the really calm voice starts talking, it ain't serious.
Please remain calm.
It's serious. Stop panicking. We're going up to the science room, find out what the hell's happening.
Damn right.
So Lister just thinking about going to the science room just kind of teleported them to another room.
Make us a coffee, would you?
Hey, I'm a cat. I ain't making you coffee. Milk and 2 sugars, right?
Any biscuits?
I ain't getting you no biscuits. Biscuits?
Meanwhile, Kryten requests a damage report and the computer's acting as if he hadn't.
Right.
But Rimmer deciding not to run one
Instead,
caused it to run. And then this happens.
we shouldn't tell the others until we get to the bottom of this.
Can Mr. Lister and Mr. Cat please make their way to the science room?
So Kryten wants to run a weird experiment.
How weird?
Just moderately weird, sir. Say a 1989 Michael Jackson. What would you like me to throw you, sir? This apple or this orange?
The apple. What?
So this is basically the new timeline for every decision not made theory that has come up before. But in this case, the timelines are getting mixed up, and the decision not made is the thing that ends up happening.
That's more than moderately weird, Kryten. That's more like a 1993 Michael Jackson.
I love this running gag. Meanwhile, Lister is thinking along similar lines and tries some testing of his own.
Make my breakfast.
I ain't making you breakfast. More bacon, bud?
I've already had breakfast. I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to eat this.
And he comes to the same conclusion.
Whatever choice you make, the choice you don't make happens.
We should go tell Kryten and helicopter landing pad head.
Good idea. But first, tidy my bunk.
I ain't tidying your bunk.
This is a mean thing to do to poor dumb cat.
Well, I say let's not walk down the corridor and not get the lift to the science room.
My kind of mission. Let's do nothing.
And there they go. Except Cat chooses the elevator instead of the stairs, so they end up on the stairs.
No!
Twice. That we know of. But they eventually make it.
Suggest we don't stay here and we don't discuss the peculiar events taking place.
We gotta stay here and figure out what the hell's happening.
They really just need to put a muzzle on Cat if they ever want to get anything done. So this gets them all on the subject of choices they've made and all the possible alternate universes there could be.
Somewhere a different version of you is living out the opposite of all your decisions.
What a life he must be having, that lucky bastard.
Anyway, it turns out that this may have been caused by an experiment that Kryten was doing.
I've been trying to create a portable device that allows the user to quantum skip to other universes.
Kind of like the Holly Hop drive? Or rather what it ended up doing, not what it was supposed to do.
It appears it's worked, but I may have slightly miscalculated the settings and ripped a hole in space-time.
Damn it, Kryten, you had one job. But yeah, if they can fix the rift, they can use the quantum skipper to go to different dimensions. But Rimmer is the only one who wants to do it.
A chance for a new life, a fresh start, new people, better people.
Unfortunately, he won't be able to choose which one to go to. It's randomized. Also, it needs a little time to recharge in between uses.
So what do I do to quantum skip out of here?
You simply press this button here, sir.
So it basically is the Holly Hop drive, just less dorky looking.
I'm not one for long farewell speeches, but I have written this. See ya!
That was a little similar to his going away speech in Hollow Ship.
That over the years, I have come to regard you as people I met.
So Rimmer tries his first skip.
This is just Red Dwarf.
Oh, hi, Holly.
Morning, all.
Holly, when is this? Where am I?
It's Monday, and you're in a corridor.
Honestly, I get why Holly isn't a regular on the show anymore, but it's nice seeing him once in a while.
I'm a computer that runs the ship. I'm tested every month.
Can you prove that? Have you got a certificate?
Well, no, I failed the tests. I forgot to turn the paper over.
Anyway, it turns out that the crew never got wiped out in this dimension.
Captain Hollister?
Nobody's dead, Arnold.
Todd Hunter?
Nobody's dead, Arnold.
Really?
Not even Peterson?
Holy shit, Peterson! He hasn't gotten a mention since the first episode of season 10.
Gordon Bennett. Nobody's dead. Nobody is dead, Arnold.
Wow, they're really committed to this gag.
You're telling me nobody's dead?
I wish I never brought this up now.
Anyway, Lister is still in stasis. Also, there was no radiation leak.
Sorry to break off, Arnold. I've got to make an announcement.
Yet.
Radiation leak alert. All crew should run around screaming.
But the skipper hasn't finished recharging.
Captain?
Oh, hi, Captain Hollister.
I was trying to go down with the dwarf, do the right thing, when suddenly I tripped into this escape pod.
But sir, I thought all good captains went down with their ships.
They do. Laters.
Wow, he really is the worst. Anyway, Rimmer just makes it out of there.
Oh, nuts.
That's a little dark.
What reality is this?
Second dimension. The ship appears empty at first, but he finds Kryten.
I've just quantum skipped from another reality. I'm looking for something better than the one I came from. What's Lister like here?
And it turns out that Lister is much more refined here.
Evening, chaps. Oh, by the way, Kryten, later on I need your help. I want to relabel my collection of vintage wires.
And he collects stuff.
I'm quite excited because I've just added a digital coaxial audio to my not inconsiderable collection.
Rimmer is liking this place, so what's going to end up being wrong with it?
Will you be joining myself, Mr. Lister, and Mr. Rat for dinner?
Of course Mr. Who?
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Yo, Kryten! Where my dinner at?
So here it turns out that Lister smuggled a rat on board instead of a cat.
And they all evolved into these chaps.
Yeah!
And another difference is that all of them stayed on board, so the ship is full of these guys.
Sometimes they even sleep with me.
He's so warm and snuggly!
Even if I hated the rest of this episode, this guy would have totally made up for it.
Thanks for the invite, but I think I'll skip dinner.
Third dimension.
This has got to be better than Rat World.
Okay, when I talked about a ship full of Listers a few episodes ago, this isn't quite what I had in mind.
No.
Come to think of it though, I'm curious what decision led to this. Fourth dimension,
Kryten!
Rimmer is the computer in place of Holly.
Morning, sir.
Number 5, holy crap! Again, how the hell? I'm gonna stop counting at this point because it becomes a montage of Rimmer discovering something horrible in each one that we don't see, and some go by so fast it'd be hard to keep track. Finally, another one that's gonna be focused on for a bit. On the upside, he's human here.
Sir, Officer Rimmer, sir.
And an officer. Also, the crew is back.
Rimmer, navigation officer, yes! Married, yes!
I forgot to mention, the captain wants to see you in his office.
And they seem to like him.
Rimmer, sir, you wanted to see me.
Downside is that Lister is the captain.
I run a fairly tight ship here, Rimmer. Fancy a cold one?
Rimmer can't use the skipper again yet, so he tries to explain to Lister where he's from.
Are you familiar with the multiverse?
That strip club on Venus. I went there once. Is that a crime? Okay, I'm a lifetime member, but what happens on Venus stays on Venus.
Turns out that Lister spotted the faulty drive plate that Rimmer forgot to fix that caused the radiation leak.
After that, it was up, the ziggurat lickety-split.
He shows Rimmer to their old quarters and...
Hasn't been used in years.
Damn, they did an amazing job replicating the season 1 look. The audience even oohs and ahs at it.
We're really home. And I'm alive. Not a hologram, but an officer and a gentleman.
Looking forward to getting home myself, actually. See Chrissy?
Kachansky?
No, it's short for Crystal. I met her at the multiverse.
Seems like Rimmer is beginning to like this place, Captain Lister notwithstanding. He is still kind of sore about that, though. Lister is also rich.
When I fixed the drive plate, they offered me some cash to keep me stum. I refused a settlement and opted for shares. They had no idea we were going to stumble across a planet rich in helium-7.
I wonder if that's Planet Rimmer he's talking about.
Made a fortune.
I can't live in a reality where you're more successful than me.
Well, at least he's honest.
You've got everything you ever wanted.
It's not worth it.
And the next skip takes him back home.
Did you find a universe where you felt less of a loser?
The grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. And so ends Skipper. This was a fun little episode. Apparently it was originally meant to air on the 30th anniversary of Red Dwarf, but it ended up getting moved. But that's the reason for all the callbacks. It was meant as a love letter to the fans. One thing that's kind of interesting is that due to the plot and probably the title, Skipper was Ace's nickname for Lister, some fans were convinced that this would be the episode that would finally somehow reveal that this Rimmer is Ace. I was sort of amused by that for two reasons. One is the idea that the show was ever going to go into that at this point. And the other being that I hate that theory, so I'm glad it's still unconfirmed. And no, sorry, I don't believe your story that a friend of a friend was pulled aside by Doug Naylor who secretly revealed to them what really happened at the end of Season 8. Anyway, yeah, with the jumping or skipping between dimensions, you'd think this would be the perfect time to bring back Ace if they were ever going to do that. I'm not one of those who normally cares that the cast is getting on in years. I think they're still great at what they do, and having similar hairstyles as they did earlier in the series visually de-ages them a bit, in my opinion. And honestly, I think they look great anyway. But I feel like Ace Rimmer is a character that really needs to be played by a fairly young actor, and I just don't see Chris Berry doing that at this point, unless maybe they give the character a major overhaul, which would kind of defeat the purpose. Who knows, maybe Ace will show up again at some point and prove me wrong, but without that happening, that's just how I feel at this point. And with that, I'm done with Season 12 and basically this series for now. I did enjoy this season though. Like I said in a previous video, you can tell that it was shot alongside Season 11 and that one got more attention. Still, while 12 wasn't one of the better seasons, I liked it just fine. Like, it's still better than Season 8. Apparently there has been a little more talk about Season 13 since I started covering this season. Until then I was doubting that it was even going to happen. But it's likely to be at least a year before it comes out, and I probably won't want to make videos about it immediately. That said, I'm not quite done with Red Dwarf in general, just these vlog videos. I've still got the cat videos for seasons 10 through 12, and I've got another Star Trek comparison video I'm going to make, but that'll all be done before the end of the year. And no, I don't know what series I'm going to cover after Red Dwarf, especially since I'm not making enough money on YouTube to justify doing this full-time anymore, so I may not even have time to do weekly videos once I get another quote-unquote real job. So I kind of need to see how my schedule is going to change before I even think about starting a new series like this. So for now, I'm just gonna say thank you to everyone who watched this series of videos. I did enjoy covering Red Dwarf, and I'm glad I helped some of my viewers get into it, and I know some of you have found my channel through these videos, so it's been quite the adventure. Red Dwarf is a very unique series, which I fell in love with almost immediately, and I'm glad to have gotten the chance to talk about it so much. I hope you all have enjoyed this as much as I have. That's it for now. See you next time.
You're supposed to surround yourself with people who are brighter and more successful than you.
You have. Quite right.